Hello, this is David Birch at StarPath School of Navigation with a note on the Grid Viewer Luck Grid, special feature of that, as well as a couple notes on special grid files. And this issue came up the other day in part looking at these weather here. There's some very nice data available from Norway. It's got wind and pressure, sea state and current, all for various areas around Norway. But when we load this pressure here, when we load this map here, that in principle has in it, you see pressure. Well, this has got, let's see, pressure. Yeah, pressure and wind. This one just has pressure and wind. And but if we notice here, the pressure doesn't show up. I can read it. I put my cursor anywhere and I read it, but it doesn't show up. And the same thing would happen if you loaded this into OpenCPN. You would see the same effect. You would, except you wouldn't be able to read these numbers. You see, I'm reading the numbers of the pressure, but I don't see anything. There's nothing I can put here to see. I can do the swells, the currents, the winds, and so forth, but there's no draw style. This is a draw style that it depicts how they're going to show up here. There's no way to do that. And the reason is, let me just show briefly. If you go here, and I'll put these links in it. Here's the article about these grid files from Norway, and a link to how to get them and how they look in various programs. It's very nice. And then this is the article, and I'll put this link in here as well. This is an article that explains what I'm going to talk about right now, but it's got it in words and a few captures. But there's enough nuances that the video, I think, is it's going to be helpful. So the issue is, what happens is, this beautiful data from Norway comes to us with a pressure which is not referenced to sea level. The pressure in that grid file, for some reason, is referenced to the ground level. So when I read the pressure, let's see, where is this here? Why am I not reading the pressure? Okay, there we go. So I'm reading the pressure here. You see 1002, whatever, 1000 millibars. And then if I go up here on the land, these pressures on the land are actually station pressures because they're the pressure at the actual elevation of the land. Doesn't show up in this plot what the elevations are. But if we had a hill, we could go right up the hill and this pressure would go right down. So forth. So this is really the wrong pressure, and this program hadn't expected that kind of pressure, so it doesn't provide for it. But here's one of the many virtues of this program, Luck Grid. We can fix that. We can actually tell it to show that kind of pressure. And so the procedure is, and I'm going to come back after this and show a more elaborate one, but I'll just do this quick one first, and then we move on to the more elaborate ones. So I click the grid file here. And you see, first of all, I got immediately the thing I see what I'm missing. Undrawn fields. Pressure at 0 feet height above ground level. It just doesn't show that. So what I want to do is add it. So I click this, and here's what I've got to know. 0-HTGL. That's the number I need to know. Okay, so I click this. Then because I know pressure is already in here, and the next part of this video, we'll look at cases where it's not there. But I know pressure's in here. So I can just go in here, and the types of draw styles you've got are arrows, contours, and images. And all we want is a contour. So I just have to look for the one up here that's contour for pressure. Contour for pressure. This is it right here. And you see it only does it at the surface. It says 0 F surface or 0 mean sea level. It doesn't do it height above the ground. So I go here, and here's the pressure, and here's what I do. This little symbol here, this pipe, or I think it's in code, it's an OR signal, or a symbol. So that's above the backslash. So I hit that, and then I've just got to put in this new elevation, H0 let's see, in caps, height above the ground level. And then no dash at the end, no pipe at the end, just this. That's it. I'm done. So that's it. I can go back here. And let's see, close this and close this. And now let's click this here. Undrawn fields, none, right? Okay, so I'm back here. And I still don't see it. And that's because I have to go up and I have to engage that. I have to engage that. I added it, but I haven't engaged it. Wind, 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 current, current, waves, pressure, contours. Okay, and that's there. So now I can hit this. Let's see. Well, you know, the convention is 4, but sometimes on this coastal or inland work or with a powerful tool like one of these grid viewers, we can look at it every 2 millibars if we want. So this is every 2 millibars, and I can make these pressure lines, these isobars, different colors, you know, different scale, whatever. All sorts of controls here, and I'll leave that for you to play with on LuckGrid. Oh, and here, okay, so here's the isobars now, and then here's the different times. I can just grab this, and you can watch the isobars move and the winds moving and so forth in that bay. And now what I'm seeing, oh, let me show you something else about LuckGrid. And you can decide if you like it or not like it. But all of their parameters, they allow this dynamic display. So I have a dynamic display. So wherever I put the cursor, it's going to draw in an isobar because I ask it to. So I go up here and go back here and come down to here, pressure. And that's called dynamic feedback. And I can actually change the dynamic feedback and make it red if I want to, you know, and so forth. Or what, okay, so I'll just do that. You see, now it's red and it's real thin. I can make it red and thick. Or what I typically do is just shut it off. Okay, so now there's that. So here is the thing now. This, remember, so this is always pressure above the ground level, but here the ground level is the water. The ground level is referred to as the water. So here this pressure is on land and so forth. So that's the way that works. And I'm going to make 2 videos. This is just step 1 on how to add that. The other one's a little more involved because I want to add a more complex one that's not in the system at all. And I'll do that with a second video.